G'day guys, welcome back to Hayes Homestead. First of all, I just want to say thank you very much for all of your support over recent weeks, because it's really helped the channel grow, and I really appreciate it because it helps me stay motivated to continue to do these projects for YouTube, even though I probably would do them anyway, but it sort of makes me do them a bit quicker. So I really appreciate the support, so thank you very much. What's happening in this episode? Well, we abused the tractor a fair bit last week, and the mower needs a bit of love. I'll explain later. Also, the slasher needs a bit of love because we put it through its paces. So we just want to make sure that, because I'm putting it away for a little bit, it's going to be okay when I go to use it again. So, I mean, you know the drill. Let's just crack on with it. Came out to do some servicing on the tractor this morning, and unfortunately discovered that I've got myself a puncture. Luckily, really easy to spot because it's like right there, but not to worry, we'll just get the front end up, get the pressure off the rim, and we'll plug this. Simple as. So we reamed it, plugged it, and now we'll stick some air in it. Pulled a couple of other bits out, but nothing major, shouldn't have gone through. If you live on a homestead or you're going to buy a homestead, I have to say an air compressor is probably one of the most essential pieces of kit. It is perfect, obviously, for blowing up tires, inflating tires on all of your equipment, but it's also really good for blowing things down with an air gun or other things that you can attach to it, like nail guns and stuff. Air compressor, easily one of my top 5 most useful pieces of equipment on the farm. As well as an air compressor. Another really important set of tools to have is, of course, a puncture repair kit, otherwise I couldn't have done this job. Comes with a reamer to clean the hole, as you can see, and then a plugger to put the plugs in, and they usually come with a bunch of these things that have a whole load of names: worms, snakes, plugs, whatever you want to call them. It takes about 5 minutes to do, really not a very hard job, but you do need an air compressor to inflate the tire again.
3 hours later.
Not having much luck with tyres at the moment, am I? Please excuse the really tired look. It was one of those nights with the Indy last night, and I'm running on empty, but such is life. Anyway, I promise you that's not meant to do that. Well, it's all buckled. This was the one that was leaking. It's got a big dent in it. That green stuff that you can see is slime, and you use it to plug leaks, but I mean, it's done now. $161 later, new rim and new tyre, which means that it's not going to leak anymore. Just got to get an inner tube for the rear tyre, and then that should be all the leaks plugged, hopefully. Who knows? Let's get this fixed up because my father-in-law wants to mow the lawns. He is super keen to get on the mower, like loves it, loves it. I think I found the puncture in the rear. So small, but It's very hard. It's definitely where the air is coming out. So let's plug this one. All plugged up, no air coming out, job's a good one. Just trimmed it short, as you can see. Always be careful when using a knife around a tyre, or you could make a bad situation worse. So the mower has really been through it over the last few weeks, including this weekend where there was an incident where someone might have run over some chicken wire, didn't notice, and the belt was running so hot it was smoking. So I changed the belt and then I picked up a spare today. But I think it's probably only good that we show it some love and make sure that it's good to go over the rest of the summer. So new fuel filter, I haven't replaced it since I've had it, which is about a year, so it's definitely time. I also had to take the blades off this weekend. A couple of them are a bit bent. I've been sharpening them heaps, so I think it's also time for a new set of blades. So 3 rotors, 3 blades, not the cheapest at almost 50 bucks a blade, but I think if you just take care of them, then they'll last you a long time and be worth their money. Anyway, let's get started. This is the in hose, so first thing we've got to do before we take any of these hose clamps off is to crimp this line here, because this is the inward, so this is where the fuel will be coming from. So we use orange clamp and we're going to just crimp the line, and then we'll remove the other clamps. Got tired and gave up trying to get that one blade off yesterday. As you can probably see, it's really bent. It's collecting on something under the mower deck. So I've got a newer impact driver that I'm going to give a whirl. It's my house driver, the one that I keep in the house. I've got one that I keep in the shed because it's more useful that way. If that doesn't work, then there's only one thing for it really. That's release the belt, take off the wheel, and then drop the whole rotor off and then pull the screw out like that. Well, that didn't work, so release the belt, take this wheel off, and then we'll undo these and the rotor will just drop out, and then we'll be able to leverage it. I went up into town to a mechanics to see if they can help me get this off, because it's really on there. I think what's causing the problem is that the blade is so bent, it's pressing against the flange here, which is just creating too much pressure against the bolt and not letting it get free. Maybe we can bend this back a bit, relieve some of the pressure on here, or the other option is to take another one of these off one of the other rotors, place it on top, and then we've got a lock nut so this doesn't spin back the other way, and hopefully we can use this to leverage against this and potentially free it, but I guess we can only try. success. All we've got to do is put the belt back on, respring it, and she's good to go.
Also managed to get myself a nice juicy clump blister. Look at that. You know what that means.
So the last bit of maintenance that we're going to do is to do the slasher. Got to grease up some parts, get the rails off, adjust the depth so it cuts closer on our next run. Man, these flies, but she's taken a bit of a beating, so we're going to turn these around so the good side is facing the ground. Under this cowling are some nipples that we need to service. Under this cowling are some grease points we need to service. So before we blast it down with air, we'll get this off so we can get everything nice and clean before we start greasing parts. Okay, so service done. Let's go and take it out for a test rip and see that what the cutting height is like. If we need to adjust it, then we can just do that. That's easy. Job done. That's it. Vehicle serviced. Nice.
Tell me where to go. I'm not afraid to step outside and see the world for what it is. No, spending all my time with people that I barely know. You may have thought that I was lost, but all I need is room to grow. I'm coming home to put a flower in your hand. Thought you should know. I'd rather be instead.
Okay, so that is almost all we've got time for in this episode, but I do want to take this opportunity to welcome everyone who's just recently joined our adventure and say thank you very much for your support. I really wanted to take this opportunity to explain to everyone what is actually imminent on the channel and what we're getting up to in the near future, so stuff that you can get excited about. One of the first projects that is very imminent is that we need to renovate the office. The reason that we're doing this one now is because we need the space for not only only storage of all of our office equipment and such, but also somewhere where we can escape from any distractions so we can knuckle down and do some work. On top of that, that's an inside job, and that's in the other cottage. So 2 cottages, 2 sets of renovations, 2 kitchens, 2 bathrooms, living rooms, bedrooms. It's going to be pretty exciting. On top of that, I like to do 1 inside and 1 outside job. So as well as the driveway, while I'm doing that, I also need to be putting in fences. The reason I took all the fences out was because I wanted to replace them with bigger paddocks for our plans for animals. Now this is where it starts to get interesting. We have been inquiring very seriously about the animals that we want to join our homestead. I'm going to say probably autumn time. There are animals coming. What animals are coming? I don't want to spoil the surprise, but you are going to love them, because the moment I showed Danny, she almost popped with excitement because they are very cute. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed everything in this episode, please consider liking and subscribing. Leave a comment if there's anything you want to see next. We are very... Oh my God, I just swallowed a fly. Let us know if there's anything you want to see next. I'll catch you in the next one. See you around.